So it is the 12th of November. I'm talking to Faraz Jaka. Jaka, how are you?
What's up? Doing good.
Where are you?
How you doing? I'm in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. So how could I not be good?
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous here. I was in a tournament in Punta Cana, which is really touristy, a big resort. You basically feel like you're in America.
Hmm.
So I said I need to go see the real Dominican Republic, and people were like, "Be careful! You shouldn't go!" Yada yada yada. I'm here. It's amazing. I did see some pretty scary, crazy, dangerous stuff, but it's kind of fun.
What did you
I
see?
guess. Well, so I drove here with my friend Ron. We rented a car. It was about a 3-hour drive, and there's absolutely no street lights. Half the cars do not have brake lights. There's scooters going the opposite direction on the highway with no lights, and people running across the road.
Wow, it's like
So
Frogger.
yeah, it was pretty intense actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the roads were kind of messed up, and the guy who rented us the car said you need to have 8 eyes. So every time we had a close call and my friend saw something and we avoided it, we're like 8 eyes, 8 eyes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Were there any? Is there any crime? Is it scary in that point of view?
um, I I don't know exactly on the. I mean, there's definitely some areas that look kind of dodgy. Areas that look nicer. We walked through some of the dodgier areas yesterday, and I got some good pictures. People were definitely staring at us, especially my friend because he's white, so he stands out a lot more. And yeah, there's definitely some like little kids that were like Americanos, and then
Yeah.
we started talking to them and kind of poking fun at them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, I got some good pictures I'll share with you. I'll share with you guys. The place I'm at right
Yeah.
now is
Show. Can
gorgeous.
you show
So
me?
this is a nicer part. This is called what's it called? Boca. I'm blanking on the area, but it's essentially a beach town. And
Hmm.
this restaurant I'm at, it's called Neptuno's. And as you can
Wow.
see,
Wow.
we're literally right on the water.
Uh-huh.
And I'm literally in my swim trunks right now,
Uh-huh.
and you could jump in the water. We don't
Wow.
have a. There's a better view. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's very nice. Look at the
yeah, it's really
water.
cool.
It's super nice.
So yesterday I came here with a bunch of locals, and we literally were eating, and then just jumped into the water,
Hmm.
and then we even rode a banana boat, which looked really funny.
So touristy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it was touristy, and my local friend, oh, the banana guy's over there. If he comes closer, I'll show him to you.
Yeah.
We literally rode a banana in a really provocative position, and it went a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. And then he whips us around, and we all go flying into the water,
Of
trying
course.
to hold on to this banana.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know about you, Faraz. Some people call you what do they call the homeless millionaire? Is that right?
This million. Yeah, that was from the CNN clip. Yeah. Homeless in quotes. Clearly,
Yeah.
I'm not. Clearly, I'm not living on the streets, but it's just kind of more of a joke. A lot of my friends that we don't have a home or they're entrepreneurs. It's like, oh, where are you living nowadays? It's like, oh, I'm homeless now, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of a joke. It's like it's fun, It's like we're
Mm.
living out of our car, out of our
Mm.
suitcase or whatever it is.
How many years have you been doing this now?
I almost lost count. About 5 years, and I did it for 2 years. And then I got really drained on the road, so I moved to Chicago for a year
Yeah,
and a
I
half.
remember that. Yeah.
And then I got really sick of being normal, so now I'm back on the road.
Yeah.
5 years. Um,
Most of the
yeah,
time, the first 2 years, I think you were traveling mostly on your own, right?
as opposed to with a friend,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Or are
yeah,
you
I mean,
still traveling mostly on your own, or are you traveling in a group?
no, mostly on my own.
Yeah.
I meet friends at certain tournaments and we'll room together, but I mean, mostly on my own, or I'll meet up with a friend somewhere. Sometimes like some of the trips, like back then even, I went to Prague, and I roomed with a poker player. And then after the tournament, I had a friend from university that said his old roommate is from a small town in Czech Republic. He's really cool. You're really cool. So I just jumped on a train, 3 hours to this small town called Ostrava.
Yeah.
And I stayed with this random family for a week, and it was the best week of my life. And
Is it really?
yeah,
Wow.
I just found so many cool little hidden gems that I'm like, no one knows this city, no one knows to come here and travel to it,
Mm.
and it's just, I mean, those are like my favorite trips, you know.
Yeah, I heard a pretty cool thing about today with the Tim Ferriss show. Do you listen to that sometimes?
Yeah, I've heard a couple episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like him actually.
yeah. I heard. I don't know who he talked to, but he said that some of the trips you wouldn't be able to buy even if you were a billionaire. You wouldn't be able to get this
Yeah,
experience. It's
yeah,
impossible,
100%.
and that
Actually,
creates.
it's harder for I know a couple billionaires, and it kind of sucks the security they need
Yeah,
and things they can't do. I mean, it's very limiting sometimes. So
yeah.
yeah, you start to realize that some of the best things in life don't really cost any money.
No, are you aiming to be a billionaire?
I'm not aiming to be a billionaire. That's I mean, I'd like to be very successful, but I think the types of things I'm involving myself don't have a chance to become worth $1 billion.
Okay, okay. I know you've been
I,
having so many
I
different
wouldn't I wouldn't
business
mind
things.
being a billionaire, but I mean, passively investing in businesses, you're not going to become, you
No.
know, crazy rich. I mean, if you're involved in a business and you know one of the partners and the guy you know doing all the work, then you have a chance of maybe you know amassing you know hundreds of millions of dollars. But
Yeah.
just being a passive investor, it's very unlikely you're gonna you know make that kind of money.
And usually, when you have a passive investor, usually the people are going to ask them, "What can you bring to the table? Do you have anything to distribute? Any way of
Yeah,
helping us out?"
I,
But
I mean, if there's any company that works with me and they don't have any sort of base to start with, you know, I instantly have you know close to 30,000 Twitter followers and access to television coverage that you know millions of people can see. So that's of course a benefit to them.
mhm.
And just my network, you know,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people and people in different industries, and that's valuable.
yeah. Some people over the years, I've been working with poker for 10 years. I mean, when I check my lists, maybe 60 or 70% of them are poker related because I've been
Yeah,
working
yeah.
with mostly poker. How big percentage of your network is poker related?
Uh, that's actually real. I've never thought about that. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, and I was in a business fraternity in college, so God, I mean network as in people I'm constantly in touch with, not just people I know.
Or people you
Ah,
reach to when you, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean. Just a,
yeah.
just a ballpark.
I have to think about it, but the more it's probably smaller than people would think.
Yeah,
I probably have like 60-70% non-poker
yeah, yeah,
related
yeah,
contacts, maybe even more. I
yeah,
mean, I a lot of my best friends I met in college, and again, like the whole entrepreneur network, and in general, most of my best friends are not poker players,
yeah,
and I have a lot of good friends that I'm constantly visiting and reaching out to.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, maybe like a 60-40 type thing.
yeah. All right, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, what are the? Are there any specific deals now that you are involved with, or is it mostly your own stuff?
Um, I'm not currently actively involved in anything entrepreneurial right now. Besides my own website,
Yeah.
FarazJaka.com. I'm starting to post a bunch of articles. Like I just posted an article about sleep deprivation and understanding your sleep cycle and beating jet lag. I posted an article about the 10 days no talking meditation retreat I did a couple years ago.
Wow.
I'm basically posting articles about things that I care about and things that I think are important.
Hmm.
So anything from you know health, fitness, meditation, just being a nicer person, benefiting the world, traveling, of course, travel hacks, traveling tips. I started this new thing where I'm posting a city guide for every single city that I've spent a decent amount of time in that I know well. So you know restaurants. Public transportation, how to use it, how much it costs, you know, how to get from the airport to the city center, you know, bars, clubs, tourism, everything. So I've got about 2 or 3 cities up there right now, and it's going to grow fast. So yeah, check it out, FarazJaka.com, if you want to go do some traveling and need some tips.
That's very nice. That's very nice. I mean, you always try to stay. I think you try to stay on a kind of low budget, right?
Mhm.
You,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a budget traveler, but part of the reason I budget so much is so that when I want to splurge on certain things, I can do that, you know.
yeah,
So, you know, some people actually think that I'm always all the time on a budget, and they're like, they're like, oh, you probably would never spend money on that or this, and that's not the case. I don't think there's anything wrong with, spending a lot of money on certain things, but you kind of got to pick and choose. Because that way you manage your finances better, but also you appreciate it better too, because there are a lot of amazing things that don't cost a lot of money, and if you get caught in this bubble where you think you have to spend a lot of money to have good experiences all the time, you miss out on those other experiences that don't cost much money.
Yeah.
Like a super crazy expensive vacation to some touristy place as opposed to staying with a random family in Czech Republic that didn't cost me really anything besides the bus ticket.
Yeah.
Even with clothes and shopping, like sometimes I buy expensive clothes, but other times I'm at a thrift store, vintage store, buying some secondhand shirt that cost me, 10 to 15 euro.
It's so much more
So
real.
I'm about experiencing as much as you can and experiencing both spectrums.
Yeah.
So most people go through their life either just experiencing one spectrum, surrounded by one type of people, one class of people, even sometimes just one ethnicity.
Yeah.
You're this. Your background is from this heritage, and you only hang out with your own type. I'm all about. I want to be exposed to everybody and everything.
I think when I get asked what is your strongest assets, and sometimes I think it is my chameleon skills.
Yeah.
For myself to have a good experience, but also to the people I meet to have a good experience.
Okay. Yeah, I feel the same way about myself.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's so important not to be. Still have a character and be yourself, but to adapt to the situation you're in.
Yeah, and you get a lot of people who judge people that are different than them, and it's just because you haven't hung out with that type of people. And once you do, you understand them. Yeah.
Is there a specific kind of people that you don't like to hang around?
I don't really believe in. I don't ever not like someone, but I might not want to spend too much time around them because I don't really believe in bad people. No. I think people have problems and insecurities, and sometimes I feel like if I'm surrounded by someone who has too many insecurities and this type of thing, then it affects me in a negative way. Yeah. So it's not that I hate that guy, but I don't want to spend too much time around him, and I don't mind spending some percentage of my time around people like this because I like to try to influence them and try to help them and try to change them and see things differently. So it's kind of like a balance where I don't mind 70% of the people I hang out with, positive people that are helping me better, or, think on the same level as me, and then maybe a certain percent of the people that maybe need some help or see things differently. And of course, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they see things in a way that I don't realize, and but so I try not to judge people and just try to understand them.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. All right, so let's continue. I wanted to ask you about the poker bit as well. Have you been playing a lot?
Yeah, I've been playing a decent amount recently. I'm on tour pretty hardcore in Europe right now. I'm going to I just did Berlin for 3 weeks, WSB Europe. I did EPT Malta for a week right after. Then directly to Punta Cana in Dominican Republic. Yeah. And now I'm headed to Amsterdam, the Master Classics today, actually, in a couple hours.
Oh, really?
And then that's going to continue on to the Hard Rock event in Florida, and then to Prague, and then to PCA Bahamas in January, and then to Aussie Millions in February, or end of January. So yeah, a lot of traveling.
Okay, and, yeah. You don't mind? No.
No, I mean, I go through spurts. Sometimes I need my break. Yeah. If I need a break, I go rent an Airbnb in Mexico City, Buenos Aires, somewhere, relax, be productive, exercise, do work on my blog, whatever it is I need to do to recharge. And then I get that bug and need to get back on the road.
Yeah, I mean, the Dominican Republic is apparently a beautiful place. How come you decided to go there?
I had an opportunity to check it out. They invited me, the people running the tournament, and I'd never been to the country before. So I said, hey, I get to see a new tournament and see a new city. So and it was cool because it was a lot of recreational players. It's a $1,600 buy-in, so it's mostly amateurs playing and business people, and it was really fun. Actually, it was a much different crowd.
Yeah. How many people played it? Do you know?
I don't know the exact number. I think it's been growing every year, and first place was upwards of 160K or so.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, I ran into two friends from my business fraternity from college that never come to poker tournaments, but it just kind of shows the type of crowd that comes to
So you
this
didn't
event.
arrange that in advance?
No, no, and it was awesome
Wow.
seeing them. Yeah,
Wow, good. How did you do?
I was in for like 5 bullets,
Okay.
so I ran pretty bad in it, but I had a lot of fun, a
Yeah.
ton of fun actually. Yeah, this has been a really fun week.
So if anyone would like to go to the Dominican Republic in the future, will you have some stuff on farazjaka.com
Yeah,
to help us
I'm
out?
writing. I've got a bunch of notes on my phone, and I'm putting a city guide up in a couple weeks. So yeah, definitely,
Ah,
I'll give you
very
the
cool.
down low.
Very cool.
And Amsterdam coming up starting tomorrow. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's.
be
I mean, for Swedes and for Europeans, masterclasses of poker is one of the big ones. I mean, one of the oldest and one of the greatest
yeah.
tournaments in Europe, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I've always wanted to. I've been to Amsterdam many times, maybe maybe like 5, 6 times. I've never played poker there, and I've always wanted to come to this tournament, but just timing schedule hasn't worked out. So, pretty excited to get to go. It's one of my favorite cities. It's an amazing city.
Yeah.
Just the architecture there and the restaurants and people are really all about healthy living there. You have a very health conscious crowd.
Yeah.
Of course, there's they're famous for their drug tourism and red light district, and not anything against that, but I think people don't realize how much more there is to do in that city
Oh yeah.
because it's just kind of so well known for that people don't realize how much more there is to do there.
Yeah.
And it's really an amazing city.
Yeah. Last summer, me and my family, my wife and two kids, they were 10 and 5, and we went to 5 different cities in Europe, and Amsterdam was one of them. And we
Yeah.
had a great time for 2 days there. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much to do,
And
so much to see. Just walking around is beautiful.
Yeah, if any of you guys are going to Amsterdam, the very first thing you should do your first day there is go do a free walking tour. There's a hostel called St. Christopher's Hostel that I stay at a lot there, and they have a free walking tour every single day. And it's best to do that because you get to see everything and have an idea and ask the guide questions, and then you could plan the rest of your week based on what you saw and what you're more interested in.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Yeah, that's good. What time of the year would you go to the Dominican Republic?
Um, to be honest, I'm not sure what the best and worst times are.
Yeah.
This is my first experience here. I didn't know much about Dominican until I showed up here and did some more research. I'll make sure I include that on my travel guide when I write it, though.
November seems to be okay.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, the weather's just been great. I mean, it rained a couple times, but I mean, you can just see right now it's absolutely gorgeous.
How many degrees centigrade and Fahrenheit is it? Approximately.
I know it's Fahrenheit. It's about 80.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that is in Celsius.
Yeah, we checked that out. You should check up on that because that's the most common one in Europe.
Yeah.
Never mind. Back to Holland. I know I've been working with the Master Classics and the people around Holland Casino, which is called, and they have a few casinos in Holland.
Yeah.
I guess you've been in contact with them as well, right?
Yeah, and I'm actually that's another reason why I'm excited. I've met a lot of the people that work for Master Classics or work in the Holland casinos, just randomly in Monte Carlo or here and there, and they always seem just really nice, really smart, really straightforward. And even just talking to them about how they run the tournament, they just seem to get it. They're very straightforward, logical people, very transparent also. Which I really like. So usually when you have those ingredients, you end up with a tournament that's run really well and really fair, and people are happy. Transparency is huge, and just a lot of companies don't understand that yet. But I think they're slowly getting weeded out.
Yeah, I think one of the most important aspects is, I mean, Swedes travel a lot, and so does the Dutch people. They're quite kind of laid back, well educated, but cool.
Yeah.
And I think they're also flexible, and I mean that's so important. I mean, come on, it doesn't what makes sense, the logical thing to do. Come on, and it seems like they are also. If there is a thing that is kind of just use your common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to that. Are you going to play more events in the main event, or?
Yeah, there's definitely playing the main. There's 2 starting days. And then I think the right when I land, there's I think it's a €1,500 event
Yep.
I'm going to jump in that. There's a couple like something around like 800 to 1,000 euro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably going to play a good 4 events there. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. I think
and they have a solid schedule. I mean, if you're playing some of the lower binds as well, you could easily play 10 tournaments or so there.
Yeah. I saw that the first event starts on tomorrow actually. On the 13th, and then main events. I think day 1A and day 1B is 16th and 17th, right? And it's a 4-day event, so it's really deep for those people that likes to play.
I'm landing at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and I think the tournament starts at 2 p.m. So
all right.
I'm gonna check into my Airbnb and run over to the tournament.
I guess you practiced your way of being able to at least relax or even sleep on your flights.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, normally I would never land the same day I have to play.
No.
I try to avoid that and try to land 2 days before. It just kind of worked out that way because I wanted to make sure I had time to see Santo Domingo. And it's a prelim; it's not the main event, so at least I'll have some time to relax before the main.
Yeah. I know. I've been to most of the WSOPs over the years, and I've made a lot of covered a lot of tournaments in America. And usually they. Not too many Americans have been to Europe to play poker. And what do you tell them? Because I know, trying to attract them and tell them to come to Europe. What do you say? Why should they come to Europe and play?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, there's several different reasons. It depends. I mean, if they're just purely grinders, I mean, one thing that's great about the tournaments in Europe is you have a full festival. In America, I hate it. A lot of the tournaments are an awesome main event, not very good prelims and post-lims, so it just kind of sucks to travel and play 1 or 2 events. Pretty much all the tournaments in Europe have a main event and then a solid schedule of prelims and post-lims that get a lot of runners. The tournaments in the U.S., they do have prelims and post-lims, but they don't have many runners. It's not a big prize pool. You don't really feel like playing them. Whereas here, there's several things you can come and play. So from a grinder's perspective, that's probably the number one reason. And if you like traveling and exploring culture and that kind of thing, then it's pretty obvious. I mean, you go to a tournament in Amsterdam, and not only do you get to see Amsterdam, it's a train ride away. You can go to Belgium, go to London, go to Germany, wherever.
It's close to Paris and everything. It's so close, everything, and good.
Yeah,
train
so
system.
I mean, when I first started traveling to Europe, that was why I did it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go play this tournament, stay an extra week or 2 and go see this other city.
Yeah. That's very good.
And even stay until the next European festival, and you could bunch 2 European tournaments, and in between just go do some sightseeing and traveling.
Yeah, I know. A few years back, they improved on the planning and scheduling all over. I think because they made most of the EPTs these days have festivals prior and after. So you can stay at a place for 3 weeks if you want, if it's
they bunch it together. Yeah, for
and
sure.
also, I mean, Master Classics now. This is their time, They have their after the World Series Poker Europe and so on. So it seems like they are cooperating. Sometimes before they had tournaments, bumping into each other and didn't talk to each other. But they're better.
And a tournament like Master Classics, they're definitely growing fast. And this year and next year, I think you're going to see some pretty big turnouts. And I think that's definitely going to get some interest from people. So I definitely recommend, jumping in there while it's growing, and probably going to, when a tournament's growing like this and has a lot of new players, it's also going to have a lot of weak spots and amateurs, and, it's all around good event to play in terms of, the field, and also an amazing cultural experience just being in the city.
Yeah, I also talked to them a few years back when they started their high roller, which is this year as well. I'm going to check on the date. I think it's the 14th or something like that. 14th maybe in 2 days. It's a 10K euro buy-in, I think, which will also attract some of the guys. Some of the rich guys.
The business guys, yeah.
Yeah, and that's always nice. It's the best is when you have a good mix of people there.
Yeah,
and it's also a lot of. I mean, around the. I know that close by the casino, there's a lot of good restaurants and stuff. It's in the middle there.
Yeah, everything's easily walkable, accessible.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure you're going to find out, and maybe people will come up to you now if they come to Amsterdam and ask, where should we go, Faraz? Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, so after the Amsterdam, you will go to Prague. Is that right? Was it Florida first? Florida first.
Florida. Well, first I'm actually from Amsterdam. I'm flying home to San Jose, California, just to visit my family for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then the day after Thanksgiving, I'm flying to Florida, Hard Rock, which I think is probably the best venue to play poker in the U.S.
Okay.
So yeah, they have and they always have a lot of good guarantees on their tournaments.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they're always like 3,500 or 5,300 main events. So really affordable buy-ins, but huge turnouts.
Yeah.
Good guarantees, and just a beautiful place. So
I know Jason Mercier always talks about that tournament as well.
It's
one of his
it's fun.
favorites.
It's like a vacation in a poker tournament.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then yeah, directly from there to Prague. So it's amazing how with the type of climates I'm. I was in Berlin where it was getting cold, Malta where it was obviously warm, and then jumping here. I'm in my swim trunks right now. It's going to be cold in Amsterdam. Back to the beach in Florida, Prague, snow.
I think
warm hot chocolate at the stalls.
Yeah, I mean Prague. I lived in Prague in '97. I lived there for 4 months.
Yeah.
Cool. I think Prague is maybe the coolest city in Europe. Well, at least one of them, and it's so beautiful, the old town, and it's so worth to go there. So much worth to go there. And that made it good. I mean, the turnout there. There's so many people going there now.
Yeah,
as well.
I love Prague, but I personally get bored of it. Like, I feel like I could see everything I need to see there in a couple of days. So I'm like a bigger city person. Like, I need a city with like 3-4 million people where I constantly do more and more things. But I do love to go to Prague just for like a couple days, for me at least.
Yeah, I know. I think back it's quite interesting to see how things are turning around, because in the 90s, Prague was still quite Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And they were just about to go into be more westernized in a bit.
Okay.
So there was a lot of things happening there back then, and now it's more or less more like many other European cities. You're right about that. Anyway, it's going to be good. I really enjoyed this talk, Faraz, and
yeah, me too.
Are you leaving today from Dominican Republic? You said.
Yeah, I'm leaving in a few hours. I'm gonna go jump in this water right behind us right now. And get some work done on my computer, and then fly out in a couple hours.
Yeah, that sounds good. Should we?
I'm homeless for the day. I don't have a hotel. I have a car. I have a car though, so
you don't sleep in it.
Sorry.
So what do? Do you like rent a car when you get to a place, and you just?
It depends. I mean, here we needed to rent a car. Well, we could have taken public transportation to get from Punta Cana to Dominican, which is Santo Domingo. But it's so much more fun when you have a car and you could stop and you go explore.
Yeah.
And then on today's, like I said, my flight's at 9 p.m. and my checkout was at noon. So I just throw my bags in the car and find somewhere like this to set up and get some work done on the computer, jump in the water, relax. So life's good.
Yeah, life's good. Excellent. Listen, I think we should.
Do it right. Life's good when you know how to do it right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to say it. I think we should stay in touch, and then let's see. Let's hook up when you're in Amsterdam. Why don't we have a good talk in Amsterdam, and you let me know what you thought about it, and maybe just before the main event starts or something? Would that be possible?
Yeah, sure. Let's definitely do it.
All right, let's do that. Is it possible to see you get into the water as a finishing point?
Sure.
All right, Faraz. I'll talk to you in a few days. Just turn it around.
Oh, you want to see me jump? You want to see the water? Oh, we got the banana boat. I don't know if we can see it. There's a banana boat guy in the background there.
Okay. What a beautiful place.
I'm going to go for a swim. You guys have fun.
All right.
See you in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Take care, Faraz.